Welcome back to the BookCast. Today we are unpacking every layer of the incredible novel, Les Misérables. Get ready for a deep dive into its characters, themes, and the hidden meanings behind the story.
Yeah, this isn't just a story, it's like a monumental journey through the very soul of humanity.
Absolutely, and we've really poured over the sources to bring you the most compelling insights.
It truly is a masterpiece. And our deep dive today aims to bring out those surprising facts and profound moments that just stick with you long after you finish reading.
Right, even though it plunges us into 19th century France.
Nah.
The questions Victor Hugo poses about justice, mercy, love, and redemption are, they're completely timeless, aren't they?
Without a doubt. We're going to be pulling out the details that make you truly understand why this novel has endured for so long.
Okay, so let's embark on this journey right at the very beginning, with a character who, honestly, seems almost too good to be true, yet he's utterly pivotal to everything that follows. Bishop Muriel.
Ah, the bishop. Yes.
The sources introduce him right away, emphasizing his profound generosity and almost radical selflessness.
It's striking from page 1.
When you encounter a figure who immediately gives up his spacious episcopal palace for the town hospital,
And then chooses to live in that humble, single-storied hospital building himself.
it immediately tells you something profound about his character, doesn't it? It's not just charity.
No, it's like a fundamental reordering of priorities. It's a foundational statement, really. Sets the moral compass for the entire narrative.
And what's fascinating is how detailed it is. His generosity isn't just abstract.
Exactly. We learn he lives on, a mere 1,000 francs a year?
Yes, supplemented only by his sister Mademoiselle Baptistine's modest 500-franc annuity.
And this meager budget is then stretched to its absolute limit by Madame Magloire's strict economy.
So he's not some distant, abstract saint.
Not at all. He's a man living a deliberate, humble existence, demonstrating his convictions through, everything, even his personal finances.
And what really struck me is how connected he is to the common people. He isn't secluded somewhere.
Right, not in an ivory tower.
We're told he easily adapted to all the dialects of the South, which meant he felt at home in the hut and on the throne.
That adaptability, it speaks volumes about his character, his ability to meet people where they are, regardless of status.
There's even that wonderful little anecdote about M. Geberon.
Oh yeah, the miserly guy.
That's him. After hearing one of the bishop's sermons, he starts giving a halfpenny to beggars.
Just a halfpenny.
And the bishop, with his signature wit, he observes to his sister, "Look at men Geberon buying a halfpenny worth of paradise."
Huh. It's such a gentle, insightful moment. Shows his understanding of human nature, even its little flaws.
That small detail, it really does speak volumes. It shows how Muriel sees even the smallest act of charity as like a step towards grace.
A transaction with internal value, you could say.
Yeah.
And the sources hint at why he's so detached from material things.
His family's ruined during the revolution.
Exactly. That period of huge upheaval and loss seems to have profoundly shaped his perspective. It's almost like he learned the hard way about how temporary earthly possessions are.
So he invests in something more enduring.
The spiritual well-being of others and his own connection to, God.
And his fearlessness. That's one of the most striking things.
Oh, definitely. Removing the iron from his palace door.
Leaving it unhasped day and night, letting anyone just walk in.
Mm-hmm.
His belief, simply put, a bishop should be so.
And you have Madame Magloire, understandably freaking out a bit.
Totally. It's incredible vulnerability.
But he remains unwavering. What's Hugo telling us with that radical openness?
Well, that contrast with Madame Magloire is key, isn't it?
Absolutely critical. Her alarm is like conventional faith, focused on worldly security, dangers.
Makes sense.
But the bishop's confidence, his open door, it symbolizes a much deeper spiritual strength, an almost absolute trust.
In God and in people, even flawed people.
Right. The sources mention he was open to thoughts which fall from the unknown, dreaming of the grandeur and presence of God.
It's a powerful image, a soul completely tuned in.
Fearless because he operates from a place of radical grace. It establishes that foundational theme of redemption and grace right away. He's not just a good man, he's like a conduit for something bigger.
A force of radical love, which makes what happens next, the arrival of our central figure, Jean Valjean, so incredibly dramatic.
Yeah, talk about contrast.
Into this haven of peace arrives a man who seems to embody its complete opposite. The sources paint this stark, almost frightening picture.
Old, gray, ragged, blouse-patched, stockingless feet, thrust into iron-shod shoes.
Hair was cut close and yet was bristling, and perspiration, heat, traveling on foot, and the dust added something sordid to his wretched appearance.
It's not just poverty. It's a man utterly broken, physically and spiritually scarred.
He's someone society is completely rejected, marked.
Totally. He recounts trying to find lodging, turned away from inn after inn, all these excuses.
He asks one landlord, "It's chilling. Are you afraid I shall bilk you?"
That line shows the deep rejection, the assumption that he must be a criminal.
And then that whisper from the landlord, "It is Jean Valjean, galley slave."
That phrase just lands with such weight. It tells you everything about the dehumanizing past he carries, the brand society uses to deny him basic dignity.
Galley slave. It's a term we hear, but help us understand what that really meant back then. What was his reality?
Oh, it was a sentence to immense suffering, profound dehumanization. These were forced laborers, often literally chained, serving brutal sentences in places like the naval arsenal at Toulon.
So his 19 years in the ban, that wasn't just prison time.
Not even close. It was a complete erasure of his identity. He stopped being Jean Valjean. He became 24,601 hours.
19 years.
And think about the physical toll. The sources mention he's traveled an immense distance on foot from Toulon, aiming for Pontarlier, 12 leagues that day. Utterly exhausted.
Carrying the weight of that past with every single step.
And ending up reduced to sleeping in a dog kennel? It just shows how low society had cast him.
And this is precisely where the bishop's character just shines.
Right.
Where Hugo gives us that crucial early aha moment.
Yep. The bishop addresses him not as convict, not galley slave, but as sir.
The sources note, ignominy thirsts for respect. That single word. It's huge.
It's a monumental act of rehumanization. For Valjean, stripped of his name, his identity, his dignity for almost 2 decades, this word, from a bishop, it's a radical affirmation of his worth.
It tells you the dignity isn't about law or status.
It's about recognition from another compassionate human. It's the first step on his path to redemption. Restoration begins with respect, not punishment.
But the bishop takes it even further.
He does. He calls Valjean my brother. An act so radical, so unexpected, it actually overwhelms Valjean's physical hunger for a moment.
Well,
And then Valjean himself gives this raw, unfiltered description of the ban.
a red jacket, the cannonball on your foot, a plank to sleep on, heat, cold, labor, the set of men, the blows, the double chain for a nothing, a dungeon for a word.
Even when you are ill in bed. And the chain gang, it's stark, brutal. It shows the system that created this bitter, dangerous man, a system designed to punish, not redeem.
So after this incredible act of hospitality, Valjean collapses, exhausted. The bishop goes off to contemplate.
Dreaming of the grandeur and presence of God.
But the peace of that night, a peace Valjean's probably never known, is about to be shattered.
Yeah, because even in the presence of such goodness, his past, those 19 years, they have such a powerful pull.
We need to understand where he came from, right? To get why he does what he does next.
Exactly. His tragic past gives the context for his desperation. He came from a desperately poor peasant family in Labrie, illiterate, worked as a woodlopper.
And the crime that started it all.
A hard winter, no work, literally no bread, and 7 children, his sister starving under his care.
7 children. And for that, he strikes the baker's shop grating.
Maubert Isabeau's shop. To steal a single loaf of bread.
A loaf of bread. For starving kids. And for that, he got 5 years initially. 5 years in the Toulon ban.
But that wasn't the end, was it?
No, the sentence just ballooned. He tried to escape, desperate to get back.
Recaptured after just 2 days adds 3 years. More attempts.
Yeah.
It ultimately led to 19 harrowing years.
19 years. That's where he became, 24,601.
It wasn't just physical torment, it was psychological, spiritual. It twisted him, bred this deep, festering hatred of human law, society, the human race, creation.
The sources say his passport described him as a highly dangerous man.
And sadly, it was accurate. Society had, in a way, forged him into that. The system trying to punish created a bigger threat.
And despite the bishop's incredible kindness, that shadow, that hatred, the survival instincts, they win out in that moment.
Yeah, the moment of temptation. The sources call his internal struggle a mechanical obstinacy of reverie, like a dark habit.
Broken only by the clock striking, mocking him. To work.
And he gives in. Steals the silver plate.
And that sound, the hoarse, prolonged cry of the ill-oiled hinge. It's like the sound of peace breaking.
The theft almost feels inevitable, given the conditioning, but the bishop's reaction, that's what turns this betrayal into another profound lesson, a real aha moment about forgiveness.
Madame Magloire is shocked, naturally. Ah, what an abomination, he has stolen our plate.
A normal human reaction.
Yeah.
But the bishop, gentle, profound, totally unexpected.
By the way, was that plate ours?
I had wrongfully held back this silver which belonged to the poor. Who was this person? Evidently a poor man.
He completely reframes it. It wasn't stolen from him.
It was taken by a poor man who had a right to it anyway, in the bishop's moral view.
Wow.
It's a powerful statement. True wealth isn't stuff, it's giving, compassion.
Yeah.
It embodies grace and forgiveness as more powerful than punishment.
He could have sent him back to the galleys.
Easily. Fulfilled Javert's philosophy, instead unconditional mercy. Gives him the candlesticks too, tells him to use the silver to become an honest man.
It's not just forgiveness, it's like an investment in his soul.
Exactly. The seeds of redemption are truly planted right there.
But Valjean doesn't get it immediately, right? He leaves feeling strange.
He feels a multitude of novel sensations, yeah. A weird softening he actually fights against. The old hatred, the bitterness, survival habits, they're still clinging to him.
The transformation isn't instant. Hugo shows that struggle.
Brilliantly. The real turning point, the second fall, some call it, is hours later. The encounter with Petit Gervais.
Oh, the little Savoyard boy.
Right, Valjean, walking numbly, drops a 2-franc piece. Petit Gervais finds it, asks for it back. Simple, trusting.
But Valjean, in this impulsive, almost animalistic act, puts his foot on it.
It's horrifying, isn't it? Especially after what the bishop just did.
The boy's simple reaction and Valjean's convulsive dash for the coin, shivering like a straying wild beast, it shows how deep that conditioning runs. He's still partly, no, 24,601.
Exactly. And the agony of the realization that follows is immense. A true psychological unraveling.
The bishop's words.
You have promised me to become an honest man. I purchase your soul. I withdraw it from the spirit of perverseness and give it to God.
Now, brutally juxtaposed with this cowardly and monstrous crime against a child, committed after the forgiveness.
His view of his life is horrible. His soul, frightful, becomes overwhelming. But then that profound aha moment for us, the readers.
A soft light, as if he fancied that he saw Satan by the light of paradise.
That's the agony, the clarity, the real start of his internal transformation, marked by hours of weeping, a fundamental shift. It's the moment Jean Valjean begins to truly live the bishop's gift.
From that agonizing rebirth, we shift focus to the absolutely heartbreaking story of Fantine.
Oh, Fantine, yeah.
The sources described her initially as joy itself. Modest, beautiful, her clothes like gaiety, folly, and music.
An Aryan toilet, like a dream.
But that brightness, that hope, it eventually faded away like the dazzling hoarfrost. Her fate is just a direct hit from societal hardship.
Absolutely. Her desperate search for work leads her to Montfermeil, where she tragically gets sucked in by the sight of the Thénardiers' children playing outside their inn.
That image is so poignant because it leads her straight into the lion's den.
Those Thénardier, cunning, manipulative, cruel. Fantine tries to seem respectable, gives them a modified story-work girl, husband dead.
But they're shrewd, predatory. They agree to take Cosette for 6 francs.
Then immediately raise it to 7 francs a month, plus 17 francs for extra expenses. 57 francs total.
Paid 6 months in advance. That's extortionate for her.
And they immediately start exploiting little Cosette, dressing her in rags, left-off chemises and petticoats of their own kids.
And her diet, fed on the leavings of everybody, a little better than the dog and a little worse than the cat. It's just horrifying, systematic cruelty.
And the irony, the village thinks the Thénardiers are worthy people, bringing up this poor child left on their hands.
It's a scathing critique of society's blindness, isn't it? Missing the abuse right under their noses.
Completely.
Yeah.
And as Cosette grows, the demands escalate. 15 francs a month, always with threats to send her back.
Putting this immense crushing pressure on Fantine, forcing her into desperation.
This relentless pressure just breaks her. She gets sick, that settled pain in her shoulder, the cough, early signs.
She's sewing 17 hours a day, hands raw, eyes strained.
And tragically, she ends up hating Father Madeleine Valjean in disguise because malicious gossip got her fired from his factory.
Her wages plummet 9 sous a day because some speculator hires female prisoners for even less.
Creditors hound her constantly. It's this relentless pressure that awakens something of the wild beast in her, raw desperation to protect her child.
And that wild beast erupts in that public incident, the confrontation with Javert and the mayor.
Right. A man, Bamatabois, puts snow down her bare shoulders, a cruel, trivial act.
But Fantine, pushed to her absolute limit, just snaps. She lets out a yell, leaps like a panther, digs her nails into his face.
uttering frightful language from a guardroom into the gutter. And that devastating detail of her missing front teeth.
Sold to pay the Thénardiers makes her desperation even more visceral.
Javert, ever the rigid lawman, sees only the transgression, arrests her immediately, wants 6 months prison.
Fantine pleads, explains about her child, her desperation.
Falls on deaf ears. Javert's system has no room for compassion. Then the mayor arrives. Jean Valjean.
High-tension moment. Fantine, utterly broken and enraged, doesn't recognize him, spits right in his face.
An act of pure defiance and despair, but Madeleine's response, shockingly calm, compassionate.
He just wiped his face and said, Inspector Javert, set this woman at liberty.
Javert is stunned, a bedazzlement of stupor, the source says. His whole black and white world is challenged, shattered even.
By an act of unexpected mercy from an authority figure he respects. Who should be upholding the law, not seemingly bending it?
This is so crucial for understanding that struggle between justice and mercy, a central theme. Fantine sees it clearly.
Two men struggling. One spoke like a demon, the other like her good angel. The angel had vanquished the demon.
This act of grace from Madeleine Valjean echoes the bishop's compassion. It shows Valjean's transformation. He can now extend that same mercy.
But it also sets up that inevitable clash, doesn't it? Valjean's evolving morality versus Javert's rigid philosophy.
Oh, absolutely. It's a collision course.
And what a confrontation that will be. But before we get there, let's pause and appreciate Valjean's journey as Monsieur Madeleine, the mayor of M.
It's a remarkable transformation.
The sources show how he uses his ingenuity, the money from the bishop's silver, maybe more he acquired somehow, to start a business.
Right. He revolutionizes jet work, I think.
Yeah, transforms M into a place of considerable trade, builds a factory, provides work, bread to the hungry, changes the whole town.
And he's this quiet benefactor, secretly helping the poor at night.
His living space, the grotto, emphasizes his modesty despite his wealth and standing.
He earns massive public respect. They even call him Monseigneur Welcome after the bishop dies, the same title Muriel had. Shows his impact.
But beneath it all, Javert's suspicion lingers.
Javert, the living embodiment of absolute law. He senses something off about Madeleine, doesn't fit his neat categories. He has that instinct for spotting a former convict.
And that suspicion clicks into place during the cart accident. Old Fauchelevent trapped.
Yeah, under the fallen cart. Huge danger.
And Madeleine, with what looks like superhuman strength, lifts the cart, saves him.
Javert sees it. And Madeleine's face, strained, reveals that celestial suffering, maybe inner turmoil, maybe the raw strength from the ban.
It's a tiny flicker, but for Javert.
It's a connection, a concrete clue. It reinforces his gut feeling that Madeleine is Jean Valjean. That strength seems unnatural, reminds him of the galleys.
Meanwhile, Fantine is fading fast in the infirmary. Her health wrecked.
Her only hope, her radiant thought, is Cosette's arrival. Madeleine senses how quickly she's declining, adding urgency to his promise.
And then Javert makes his move, the climax of his pursuit.
He confronts Madeleine directly, in his office. Drops a bombshell.
He confesses he denounced Madeleine to the prefect of police, not for abusing power,
but as an ex-galley slave.
And the ultimate irony, the unbelievable coincidence, at the exact moment Javert denounced him.
Someone else, Champmathieu, is arrested, identified by other convicts Brevet, Chenildieu, Courpaille as Jean Valjean.
It's incredible timing. Sets up this agonizing moral dilemma for Valjean.
The defining choice, really. Let an innocent man, Champmathieu, go to the galleys for life, or reveal his true identity.
Sacrificing his new life, his fortune, his ability to save Fantine and Cosette, dooming himself.
His internal monologue is just profound, agonizing. A whole department must perish. A woman die in the hospital and a poor child starve in the streets. Find scruples that save a culprit and sacrifice the innocent. The weight of it all.
He struggles intensely, tries to destroy things from his past, the knapsack, the stick, the coin he stole from Petit Gervais.
Desperate attempt to erase his identity, protect his new life, protect them.
And there's that seductive voice inside him.
Yeah, urging him, forget the bishop, destroy the candlesticks, let Champmathieu suffer. The voice of the old Valjean, the convict. Self-preservation.
But his transformed conscience wins. He makes that frantic journey to Arras for the trial.
Desperately trying to hire a gig, knowing every second counts for Champmathieu.
He arrives. The courtroom is tense. Dreadful anticipation.
The witnesses, Brevet, Chenildieu, Courpaille, are unwavering. They identify Champmathieu as Valjean. Maybe mistaken, maybe for their own gain.
Madeleine enters. Face hidden at first. Suspense builds. Silence falls as he steps forward.
and delivers one of the most shocking, heroic confessions ever written. Gentlemen of the jury, acquit the prisoner. Monsieur le Président, have me arrested. The man you are seeking is not he, for I am Jean Valjean.
Creates religious terror in the crowd. The president is stunned.
Valjean's calm, resolute explanation of his duty, sacrificing everything for truth for an innocent man.
Acknowledges he hid, became rich, became mayor, but accepts he must become a convict again.
The ultimate self-sacrifice, driven by the bishop's lesson and his own moral awakening.
So after that incredible confession, his arrest, his first thought isn't for himself.
No, it's for Fantine. He rushes back to her, finds her fragile but full of hope for Cosette, delirious almost, believing she's cured by the promise.
And this is where Javert delivers another blow. Such cruelty.
He arrives at her bedside. No mercy, no compassion, just brutal finality. There is no Monsieur le Maire here, but there is a robber, a brigand, a convict of the name of Jean Valjean, and I've got him.
He doesn't just inform her. He uses his words like weapons. Shatters her last hope.
Fantine's final scream, her death. It's a profound loss, a direct result of societal cruelty, her suffering, and Javert's rigid, unforgiving justice. Truly tragic, shows the human cost of that system.
Fantine's death ignites Valjean's urgent single mission: rescue Cosette.
He escapes jail again. Newspapers report it, mention his rumored $500,000, cementing his criminal image.
Javert, relentless, visits Montfermeil, encounters the Thénardier,
who affected amazement about the stolen child, total deception, masters of manipulation.
and Cosette's suffering under them. It's just horrifying to read.
That terrifying task of fetching water at night, from the forest, in the dark, the fear is palpable, a shudder which chilled her to the heart.
Imagining dangers everywhere, even drops a 15-sou piece, too scared to pick it up. Another small loss and a life full of them.
Her appearance, bare feet, thrust into wooden shoes, shivering to make herself as little as she could.
And that heart-wrenching image of her adoring the doll in the shop window.
How happy that doll must be underscores her profound deprivation. A simple toy becomes a symbol of everything she lacks.
And into this darkness steps Jean Valjean, like a figure of hope.
He arrives at the inn, immediately sees Cosette's misery, the stark contrast with Éponine and Azelma warmly clothed, favored, while Cosette's in rags treated like dirt.
His actions seem simple, but are so kind, cuts through their cynical world.
Sees her cold feet, buys stockings for 5 francs, way overpaying.
Then buys that magnificent doll for her. A small thing, maybe, but for Cosette.
Monumental. It's the first gift she's ever received. A tangible symbol of recognition, love.
Her reaction is heartbreaking. She doesn't grab it.
No, she hides under the table, overwhelmed. Her tears turn into strange rays of joy. Her abused little soul doesn't know how to process kindness.
And the Thénardier's response? Utterly cynical. Predictable.
Immediately try to get more money. Think Valjean's just some rich eccentric.
But Hugo weaves in that symbolism. Christmas Eve.
Valjean puts coins in Éponine and Azelma's shoes. Cosette's hideous wooden shoe stays physically empty.
But it's filled with something more precious. Hope in a child that has never known aught but despair.
It's that moment of profound connection for Valjean, the real start of their deep bond, forged not by blood, but by compassion.
So Cosette is rescued. Valjean dedicates himself completely to creating a new life for her in Paris. Total secrecy. Protection.
They hide out initially at num 5052, Rue du Petit Banquier. Seems ordinary enough.
But Valjean adopts these strange, meticulous habits. Ripping coat linings.
Pulling out 1,000-franc notes hidden inside. Having different wigs. All suggests constant vigilance, need for disguise. Javert's always out there.
His hypervigilance is key. He's never really safe. He even finds someone listening at his keyhole.
Immediate proof his past is chasing him prompts the decision to move, always that anxiety hanging over them.
Their ultimate sanctuary becomes the convent of Little Picpus, an impossible spot.
Secluded, walled off, a place to truly hide from Javert, from the world. Salvation, really.
And the escape to the convent is just ingenious, audacious.
Shows his resourcefulness. Involves that dead nun, Mother Crucifixion, the vault under the altar.
Valjean suggests burying himself in the empty coffin.
It's wild. It combines desperation with Hugo's flair for drama. He gets help from old Fauchelevent.
The gardener he saved from the cart.
Right. And that darkly funny bit with the new gravedigger, Gribier, who unknowingly helps Valjean fake his own burial and pop back up inside the convent.
He becomes the other Fauchelevent's brother, takes extreme precautions, shows the lengths he'll go to for her safety.
Their life inside and later in the house on Rue Clemay, it's idyllic in a way. Quiet, almost paradise, but so isolated.
Rue Plumet has that secret door, a passage to another street, more masterful concealment, escape routes always ready.
He hires Toussaint as a servant, choosing her for age, rusticity, stammer, qualities ensuring discretion.
Strict rules. Cosette is mistress, he's the father, emphasizes their exclusive bond. He even fetches water himself to avoid contact.
And as Cosette matures, that subtle, significant shift happens, a quiet tragedy within their peace.
Valjean finds immense joy in her exclusive tenderness, thinks it'll last forever.
But then Cosette looks in the mirror, realizes her beauty. I am decidedly good-looking.
It marks her transition to womanhood. Natural, wants nicer clothes, hates the plain merinos, healthy development.
But for Valjean, a profound and inexplicable contraction of the heart. He sees this laughing dawn for her as most mournful for him.
Senses her inevitable departure from his sole possession, the end of their secluded world. Terrified of her entering the world he protected her from.
And that departure begins with Marius Pontmercy. His own complex family history weaves in.
Caught between his stern royalist grandfather, M. Gillenormand,
And his forbidden Bonapartist father, Colonel Pontmercy, a hero at Waterloo, covered with blood, barren, Legion of Honor, sacrificed for an ideal.
Marius only finds his father's will and title after his death. A revelation.
Changes everything for him, creates an aversion from his grandfather, embraces his father's ideals, leads to self-imposed poverty, a rebellion against his upbringing, becomes a passionate, maybe naive Republican.
His political awakening is shaped by the Friends of the ABC, Anglois, comme faire.
Idealistic students, their religion is progress, belief in social advancement, liberty.
Passionate debates about Napoleon, the Republic.
Oh.
Enjolras declares, "My mother is the Republic," shows their dedication. Will lead them to the barricades.
And amidst this political fervor, the fated romance starts. Marius spots Mille Leblanc, Valjean, and Cosette in the Luxembourg Gardens.
Cosette, initially awkward, blossoms into beauty under his gaze.
Classic, innocent courtship, longing glances, the book, touching hands, the first kiss, pure bliss.
Simple exchange of names. Marius, Cosette, seals their love.
But this blossoming love causes Valjean profound anxiety. He sees the inevitable.
Tries to stop the walks in the Luxembourg, just makes Cosette sad. Emphasizes his fear of losing her, the isolation he imposed. Sees the future taking her away.
As Marius's romance grows, his money situation gets desperate. He tries to find Thénardier.
Still believing he's his father's savior from Waterloo. An idealized image. Misguided.
And this leads to a shocking revelation, shatters that image. Eponine, Thénardier's daughter, secretly loves Marius.
Inadvertently helps him observe the Jondrettes, their new name, through a hole in the wall. Sees their squalor.
Then the chilling scene, Émile Leblanc and Cosette visit to offer charity, turns sinister fast.
Mother Thénardier recognizes Cosette. It is she, the Lark, her childhood name.
Marius has this agonizing realization. His father's savior is a bandit trying to extort Valjean. Intense moral conflict, filial piety versus justice.
Torn, he alerts the police, encounters Javert.
Javert, coal deficiency. Immediately IDs the Jondrettes, their gang Patron Minette, Babet, Glamour, Clexut, Montparnasse, notorious bandits.
Javert gives Marius pistols, tells him to hide and watch. Sets up an ambush.
Marius prevents the worst, but the tension builds. Leads right into the June 1832 uprising. Real history Hugo weaves in.
General Lamarck's funeral sparks it. Public mourning turns to rebellion. Students, Friends of the ABC, at the heart of it.
The barricade at Rue de la Chanvrerie, vividly described. Makeshift fortress, paving stones, barrels, omnibus, Corinth Inn as the stronghold. Even M. Maubeufe, the botanist, caught in it. Symbol of innocence lost.
The battle is chaotic, heroic, tragic. Idealism versus brutal reality.
Municipal guard, army attack relentlessly, heavy cannon fire, grinding down resistance.
Marius desperately threatens to blow it up with gunpowder, saves it momentarily.
And then Valjean appears, almost supernatural, in a National Guard uniform, silently observing Marius, a guardian.
But the real heart-wrenching heroism, young Gavroche.
Incredible fearlessness, singing while collecting cartridges under fire, defying death, his poignant death while singing. So memorable. Sacrifice of innocence.
And the final stand. Enjolras, the students, fighting desperately. Ideals crushed by force. Profound loss.
With the barricade overrun, Valjean performs his ultimate act, saving the unconscious Marius.
Leaped upon Marius, seized him, and carried him off just as the army advances. Men's strength, selflessness, carrying the man who loves his daughter.
Leads to that perilous journey through the sewers, a descent into the underworld.
Described as a long subterranean corridor of profound peace, absolute silence and night, horror and sanctuary.
Valjean knows the system intimately, navigates labyrinths, crossroads, dangerous fontes, quicksand mud pits, immense will, resilience, knowledge of a hidden world.
And down there,
Yeah.
encounters Thénardier again. Horrifying.
Thénardier, the opportunist, tries to extort him, demanding hash shares for Marius, thinking he's a corpse. Tries to rob him.
Finds the bloody pocketbook. Valjean struggles to keep his back to the light, avoid recognition. Knows it means recapture.
Their emergence by the Seine, relief. Back to the living world. But then, the final confrontation with Javert. Still pursuing him.
Javert is shocked. Thought Valjean died at the barricade. Valjean, exhausted, resolute. Do with me as you please, but help me first to carry him home.
Unbelievably humble, self-sacrificing, and Javert's response, utterly uncharacteristic, dreamlike, braces mold.
He wipes Marius' forehead, a small act of compassion.
Allows Valjean to take Marius home, even accompanies him part way, an act of mercy totally alien to his code, a crack in his foundation.
This act of mercy, this contradiction, it breaks Javert, leads to his tragic end.
His whole worldview collapses, black and white. Criminals, evil, law, good, no exceptions.
But Valjean, the convict he hunted, has performed profound acts of grace, saving Fauchelevent, Fantine, Champmathieu, Marius, even Javert himself.
These acts just don't compute with Javert's definition of evil. The clash between his rigid world and Valjean's mercy creates a conflict he can't resolve.
Leads to his suicide, jumping into the Seine.
Hugo's stark commentary on absolutist ideology. A system solely based on punishment without grace is unsustainable, self-destructive. Makes you think, doesn't it? About our own system as our own rigidity versus compassion.
As Marius slowly recovers, his grandfather, Gillenormand, is just overwhelmed with relief, affection.
Marius, my little Marius, my child, you're alive, thanks. Beautiful family reunion. Love endures.
And amidst the joy, preparations for Marius and Cosette's marriage.
Gillenormand is ecstatic, furnishes the finest room for them. Valjean, in his final act of provision,
Transfers his fortune, 584,000 francs, to Marius as Cosette's inheritance.
gives her social standing, security, allows her to marry Marius without perceived burden. He even includes the bishop's candlesticks, silent, symbolic legacy.
The wedding day. Joyous, but for Valjean, an immediate, profound shift. Self-erasure.
Quietly retreats, his role fulfilled, no longer needed. That heartbreaking moment unpacking Cosette's childhood clothes.
The little black dress, stout shoes, woolen stockings, tangible memories of a past he can't share anymore. Chooses to fade away, believing he's protecting them.
And the tragedy deepens. Marius learns Valjean's secret, the convict past. Begins to distance himself.
Feels like discovering a scorpion in a turtle dove's nest. Shock. Can't reconcile Madeleine with a galley slave. Struggles with that image of Valjean dragging Javert from the barricade. Doesn't understand the mercy. Questions his motives.
Cosette withdraws too, unconsciously influenced by Marius. Valjean's sadness, isolation grows.
Her innocent question, "Tell me, father, what the galleys are," cuts him deeply. Highlights the chasm between them.
His fading health, his simple, heartbreaking goodbye, madame, to Cosette. Accepting their separation. Life's purpose seemingly done, but heart aching.
But the truth comes out. Through Thénardier, of all people.
His final desperate act of blackmail approaches Marius to sell an extraordinary secret. Hopes to extort money.
Distorts the truth maliciously. Paints Valjean as a robber and assassin for murdering Inspector Javert. Tries to destroy him utterly.
And this is the final revelation. The culmination. Marius, enraged, refutes the lies. Reveals Valjean saved Javert. Astounding mercy.
The pieces click. Confusion dissolves. The profound realization hits Marius. He's Madeleine, the providence of entire town. He's Jean Valjean, the savior of Javert. He is a hero. He is a saint.
The ultimate aha moment for Marius. Full recognition of Valjean's silent heroism, selfless transformation, Marius's own journey of understanding complete.
But this truth, Marius and Cosette race frantically to Valjean's side, hoping to reconcile, show love in his final moments.
His last moments are joyful, hearing Cosette's voice. Dies peacefully, hand clasped by theirs. Released from suffering.
That beautiful final description. He was dead. The night was starless and intensely dark. Doubtless some immense angel was standing in the gloom with outstretched wings, waiting for the soul.
His humble burial in Père Lachaise, far from the elegant quarter, in a deserted corner, under a yew, amid couch grass and moss. quiet end to an extraordinary life.
A life of immense suffering, profound transformation, ultimate selfless love. Les Misérables. It asks us to grapple with being human, seeking justice, offering mercy, finding redemption.
Reminds us that even in the darkest corners, compassion can shine through, transform lives, challenge our assumptions.
And there you have it. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us in this story. If you enjoyed it, a simple like or subscribe helps the channel out more than you know. Be good and take care.